Today we're answering your questions on lead generation and sales. Stick around. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. Learn how to book meetings with billion-dollar brands and take your company to the next level at email10k.com. I know everyone's got these burning questions, and we're over here, we talk about how we're cold email experts and how we run all these companies, so sometimes it makes sense to give back. So I asked in two spots. I asked on Twitter, and I asked in our private Facebook community as part of Email 10K, what questions do you guys have when it comes to cold email, sales, lead generation, anything around that? And in today's video, I want to answer those questions. So let's jump into it. First question, what is a profitable industry right now, and do you feel it's saturated? I assume they mean for cold email, but any industry right now is profitable. What we've been looking at mostly are B2B anything. So B2B software, B2B services companies, and the reason why we like business-to-business companies that sell to other companies is just because that's what we prefer. If your background is in e-commerce or your background is in any other industry, you can find a foothold and start selling there, which is why I basically recommend to get a job doing whatever you want to be doing and then start a business in that thing, because it really is that simple. You can make money anywhere. So I wouldn't think about it in terms of what are the most profitable industries? And let me just pick that one. Try to find something that's in high demand and that you're passionate about, and that's all you really need. If you want specific industries though, check out Email 10K. We actually do have a list of 10 of my favorite industries. What is your favorite lead gen tool? Is there just one GOAT, or do you find there are different best-in-class per industry? There are different per industry. For instance, ZoomInfo is really good for enterprise level leads. So if you wanted to sell to like Walmart, you would use ZoomInfo. For mid-market leads, I really like UpLead, and those are really the top two on the market right now. We're working on something that should blow them both away, but right now we don't have that built. So those are the two right now. And if that ever changes, my up-to-date tool recommendations are inside the Email 10K course. So if you're in there, you'll always get my up-to-date recommendations. Do you find that personalized but non-value-based cold email still works for really competitive services like web development, i.e. cold email doesn't have concrete advice on what the prospect can modify, but it's personalized? I think if you follow the steps and strategies we talk about here, which is either customized first line or custom seaming first line, then a case study, and then an ask, you will succeed with cold email, or you'll at least get to a point where you can start succeeding, right? You'll get the data and you can go from there. If you're sending emails that have bullet points like, oh, hey, noticed you might need a website. We do website development, da-da-da-da-da, and it's like a bunch of bullet points and a non-relevant email, no, you're not gonna succeed with cold email there. But if it's personalized or even personalized seaming, where maybe you don't have the custom first line, but it reads like a custom first line and it's relevant to them and you're only offering one thing that you know they need, then you'll win. So for instance, if you're offering to rebuild their website because they don't have a website, they only have a Facebook or a Yelp profile, that's a very specific pitch. If you're offering to rebuild their website because it's some kind of outdated technology, maybe they're on WordPress and they should be on Drupal. I don't know. Maybe they're on Drupal and they should be on WordPress. Whatever it is, it needs to be a very specific thing that you're trying to sell them on in order to succeed with these cold emails. As spammy tactics get rampant, what does a salesperson do when more and more buyers/decision makers get tired of cold email? If you write a good custom email, it's always gonna work. If you spam, it's not gonna work. So in the course Email 10K, that's why we talk a lot about frameworks and setting yourself up so that your cold emails are custom only to you. If you're sending an email that anyone could have sent, then yeah, you're gonna be spam. You're gonna get marked as spam. And if you're sending in an effective email, you're gonna get marked as spam. Cold email will always work as long as it's personalized, customized, and speaking to the actual needs of the recipient. Businesses need cold email. That's the thing. If I'm looking for a Facebook ad manager and a Facebook ad manager happens to email me, I'm gonna talk to them almost 100% of the time because I will have that need to hire somebody for that role. And that's what cold email does. It's not like B2C cold email, business to consumer cold email, where you're trying to sell just nonsense to any random person. This is finding a business that has a need for what you're selling, writing an email to that business, and selling that thing to that business that wants that thing. If you do it like that, it's never gonna go away. I love cold email/lead gen and will love to work with X27. How do I go about this, please? I don't know if we're hiring. We might be hiring. I would reach out to Michelle at x27marketing.com. That's Robert's assistant, and she handles a lot of the back end for X27. So reach out there, send your resume, and maybe you'll get hired. The best way to impress me is to go through somebody on the team. Right now, if we're hiring for somebody, we'll go through Upwork or we'll go through the audience and we'll ask. So if we're asking for a specific role, then just be there, be quick. And usually we'll do live streams when we're hiring, so we can try to get some qualified people in that way. So just be on the lookout for live streams, or if you have a specific thing that you're looking for, email Michelle and tell her what you do, and maybe that'll help. That's actually good advice in general if you want to work with any company. Know the role that you're going to fulfill. So for instance, I love cold email / lead gen and will love to work with X27. Does that mean you want to be a first line writer? Does that mean that you're a master of lead gen and actually finding email addresses? Are you a cold email guy? Do you hop on sales calls? Like, these are all sort of questions that you should be answering before you even reach out. What job do you actually want to do? Are you a project manager? Are you a designer? You know, like, I don't even know based on this. So if I don't know and I have to ask you questions, I'm less likely to engage with you, because we have plenty of people coming in that want to work with us. So you have to make it as easy as possible for us to speak with you versus going towards, you know, the Upwork leads or the audience or whoever. All right, let's move on from Twitter to the Facebook questions. Facebook questions: how long should you test a niche? You should know within the first 100 sends if a niche is going to work or not. If you send 100 emails and you get no responses, or you get a bunch of not interesteds, then you know something's seriously wrong, and it's probably worth changing the market that you're going after. There's no need to make this hard. If you find something that's in high demand, it's going to be obvious. When we were doing the product hunt thing and I was offering to invest in these companies, it was crazy high, the response rates, like 40%. And it's been the same when we were selling the documentaries with Lorelia. It was like $14 million in leads generated off 100 emails, right? When you find a niche that works, and it works phenomenally well. So keep testing until you find something that works really, really well. The only caveat to that is when you're working on your cold email skill, you might have found a niche that works, but your cold emailing skills are so bad that even if you found the golden niche, you're not going to be able to sell to them. And I know some people call it niche, whatever. Don't leave a comment, please, on whether I should be pronouncing it niche or niche. Niche? I'm going to call it niche. That's it. So when you go out and you find the golden niche, you might not even be able to take advantage of that because your cold email skills are so bad. So you want to figure out, are you getting turned down because your cold emails are terrible, or are you getting turned down because the niche is no good? And if you can identify that it's because the niche is bad, then move on to another one. There's no use selling to someone that doesn't want to buy. And there's no use in picking a niche or a service or an offer that's hard to sell. You're just making it more difficult for yourself. You can sell anything. If you're an entrepreneur or you're the sales guy and you're not doing fulfillment, you can literally sell anything. So sell something that's going to be easy to buy. On the proposal call, what exactly are we presenting? You're presenting the proposal. So you're going over what you know about their business, what your plan is for improving their business via whatever service, whether it's a new website, social media, lead gen, whatever it is. And you are going over the pricing and you're asking for the close. Another one: what do you do when a lead who was once interested stops responding to your emails? You can follow up once a month, but this is fixed by having more leads in the pipeline. You want each lead to mean so little to you that they can ignore you for 6 months and you're so busy that you don't even notice, right? So this is why we try to not get one-itis. You don't want to get so committed to one potential deal that you forget all of your other potential deals. So my advice there is, when you get one client that seems interested, yes, keep pursuing them, but try to get 9 to 10 others that also seem interested. You want your pipeline to be so abundant that you're not committed to any one client, or your business can't fail if this project falls through. That's basically it. Because what happens is, if you're committed to this one person and their potential deal, and then you've stopped prospecting because you're like, oh, I'm done, dude, this guy's 15K once he closes, I'm done. Then he doesn't close, or she doesn't close. Now all of a sudden you have to start over from scratch and build up that momentum again, which takes a long time to build. So it's better to just always be prospecting, always be looking for new clients, and then you don't have to worry about questions like this. Here's another question from Facebook. I'm working on other projects. Is there a way to pay for 100% automation? Yes. Find a service like X27 that will do your lead gen and cold email and everything for you. That's it. You can also pay for it by hiring a salesperson who will do it for you. Now, if you can't afford whatever that costs. Let's say a salesperson's $3,000 to $4,000 US a month. X27 is around that, and it actually goes up from there. If you can't afford that, you need to work on it yourself. That's it. If your main job doesn't pay you enough to afford it, then you're going to have to work longer hours or get a better main job to fund your side business. It's as simple as that. You can also pay lower cost labor overseas, but what I've found is with cold email specifically, it requires very, very good English skills. So unless you have connections in India or the Philippines or some other country where you can actually find some amazing English speakers, it's going to be tough for you to cheap out on the outsourcing on a cold email campaign. Here's another question. KPIs for cold email. How frequently to measure and what's a good target? Well, you want as low a bounce rate as possible. So as close to 0% bounce rate as possible. You can get your opens up pretty high depending on your niche. I try to aim for around 70 to 80% opens. If your leads are unbelievably qualified, you can get close to 100% opens. And that is something we've gotten in the past. But at scale, it is gonna go down a little bit to a 70 to 90% open rate. And then response rates are usually around 20%. They can be a little lower than that if the quality of leads is a little worse. But the higher your lead quality, the higher all these stats are going to be. So just look for around 20% response rate and all in about a 3 to 6% meeting book rate. So for every 100 emails you send, you should get between 3 and 6 meetings. Again, that can be way, way higher. Like I was talking about that one from Product Hunt before where I think we got 16 meetings off 100 emails or whatever. Who knows what the exact stats were, but it was something like that. So it can be way higher, but typically you're looking for 3 to 6 meetings for every 100 emails you send. Here's another question on outsourcing. How long do you wait before outsourcing outreach, writing and improving email copy and sending out emails, and how long do you wait before outsourcing sales? So you can outsource outreach as soon as it pays for itself. If you get to the point where you realize that every email you write makes you $3 or makes you $8 because of the clients that it closes at the end of the day, then you can pay $3 per email up to. I would pay less than that, but you can pay for it as soon as it's making you money. Alternatively, you can also go into debt to start a business, but as a first-time entrepreneur, I do not recommend that because you want to actually be in the trenches getting these campaigns to work first. That way you'll save money and you'll learn more stuff in the long run by doing it yourself, doing the hard work yourself at first, at least until it's profitable. I'm not gonna say for the first 3 months, for the first 6 months, because you might get profitable in the first week. You might get super lucky. So if you're making money in the first week, then yeah, outsource as soon as you possibly can. It's a revenue goal, not a time goal. And it's the same thing for sales. If you're going out there and you're closing deals and you can afford the $3,000 to $4,000 a month for a salesperson, ideally $6,000 to $8,000 because you want 2 salespeople, and you have enough meetings coming in, then yeah, go ahead and hire a salesperson. Until that time, I would recommend that you do the work yourself. Final question, what are the best companies, specific niches who need lead generation and will pay top dollar for it? That is in our course, Email 10K. We have a specific module all about the top niches to pick, so check that out. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. So you don't have a business idea, huh? Do you want to know what the best business to start is, regardless of market conditions? Check out the free presentation at email10k.com. We have over 200 students that are crushing it using this business strategy, even during this time. So check that out, email10k.com. Thanks for watching the video. Do you have any questions on sales or lead generation? Let me know down in the comments. Smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.